going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealEntGaming, and welcome back to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. Welcome into the month of August, the hottest month of the year, and that means that a lot of you guys have one more month until school begins. For many of you guys, towards the end of the month, you're going to be going back into high school, going back into college. Many people are going to be taking their vacations and then going back to work at the end of the month. So many things to do, such little time. So just take the time right now to enjoy the final month of August, because right after this, it's going to start getting a little cooler. And in essence, we're going to be getting, I think, the best season of the year, because obviously, Thanksgiving, Christmas, with all the new games coming out this year, with all the new movies and stuff like that, like Star Wars and whatnot. So many things happening, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the months of June and July. I certainly have, and I'm still enjoying it right now on this beautiful Saturday day. So anyways, everybody, before we begin, I just wanted to say that I really hope you guys take a second to go on ahead and check out my second channel. The link will be in the description below at UnrealEnt Network. On that channel, you will find a whole bunch of awesome stuff that you will not get to find on here. And that includes Resident Evil, Dragon Ball Z, Dying Light, Spyro, a bunch of awesome Steam games off of the PlayStation Now, such as, Ratchet and Clank, Street Fighter, Last of Us, and whatnot. So I really hope you guys go on ahead and take a second to check that out. UnrealEnt Universe is also in the works with all of its latest comic book reviews and movie reviews, television show reviews. Literally, Dragon Ball Super has been having me hooked. A lot of you guys have been seeing stuff on that, and let me just say that TV show, if you guys haven't checked it out, there are multiple websites out there that you can go to watch Dragon Ball Super, and for me personally, it's just been a wonderful experience, just a wonderful year. I think it's been one of the most relatively best summers. It hasn't been the best summer. Of course, I mean, the best summer for me was definitely 2012, but relatively it was pretty fun, and it's not even over yet. That's the best part. So anyways, everybody, let's begin with our first question of the week, and it is from James Williams. Hey, Alex, I have some questions that can hopefully make it to fan mail. All right, here we go, Mr. James. Question number 1. What are your thoughts on the future of South Park? Do you think they will ever continue the series the way we all want them to, or will they eventually end everything off? Question 2. What are your thoughts on indie horror movies? Question 3. What are your thoughts on Godzilla 2, and what do you think will happen? Well, anyways, I am digging your profile picture, given the fact that Black Ops 3 is one of the most anticipated games of the year. But anyways, James, thank you for the questions. To answer your first question, the future of South Park. Well, growing up when I was a kid, I've always loved South Park. I don't know anybody out there who virtually does not love South Park. Growing up, literally, I used to just love it so much, where I remember I used to sit there, and I just used to have such a great time watching it, all the dirty humor, and just all of the funny moments that happen within the TV show. I mean, it's not the same anymore, I would say. I think South Park has definitely changed over time. South Park: The Stick of Truth was an awesome game, but the TV show over the last 10, 20 years has completely changed. Back in the day, I would say that each episode was very, very funny. I would say that each episode was very unique, and nowadays we have episodes that follow trends. I don't know if you guys remember the old episode where they were doing the whole PlayStation 4 versus Xbox thing. I mean, that was pretty lame. It wasn't really funny at all. It was just all the kids rounding up, picking sides, and nothing barbaric happened in essence, other than the Black Friday thing, which was very hilarious. But you had the owner of Xbox fight the owner of Sony, and it was just like whatever. And then you had a couple of other episodes where it just had no meaning anymore. I mean, I guess you could say they are running out of ideas, but in another way, it's like South Park was built off of pure stupidity. South Park always did things out the box, and they always created their own ideas. Sometimes, if the story didn't make any sense, the character development would. Over the years, we've seen the character development of Butters, Eric Cartman, Kenny, Kyle, Stan, even Randy Marsh. Randy Marsh has become a huge hit within the Dragon Ball Z community, within the South Park community, especially when he was playing Minecraft and stuff like that. So I don't know, the future of South Park, I do believe, aren't they coming out with another season this year? I'm not entirely too sure about that, but if they are, I mean, kudos to them. I am going to watch it, and I'm going to enjoy it. Comedy Central as a whole just changed. I mean, I think Comedy Central sucks now. They took off Dave Chappelle, they took off Crank Yankers, they took off South Park. I mean, what's left on Comedy Central, really? It's just a bunch of hacky, tacky garbage. But do I think they'll continue the series? I think they'll continue the series for like maybe another year or two, possibly 3 or 4. But then after that, I think South Park is just going to die off. Sadly enough, I mean, unless, of course, they make a South Park video game that encompasses more following the stick of truth or maybe some other ideas, then yeah, I can definitely see them surviving. But for me personally, I just think that the overall growth for South Park isn't really there anymore. People just aren't as interested because they have other things to watch and whatnot. So, I don't know. For me, I think it'll continue, but, you know, just for a short time. To answer your second question, indie horror movies. Okay, well, independent movies I do appreciate and value a lot because there are some, you know, amateur directors out there who know how to produce a good horror film on the independents. And you have to just face facts that a lot of these independent directors are literally sometimes trying to bust their ass to prove a point. And sadly enough, you know, like some of these indie horror movies turn out to be better than some of these major, you know, platform-based movies that you see from Hollywood. Paranormal Activity came from an indie fest. I mean, look what happened. So many other movies as well. I mean, I can't really think of all the names right now, but I mean, it was definitely into effect. But my thoughts on indie horror movies, I do support them and I do appreciate what they hold. But not every single horror movie is good from the indies, I will say that. They have their moments where sometimes they produce good material and sometimes they produce absolute garbage, and, you know, you have to just, you know, soak it in as much as you can. But overall, if I had to say whether they're good or not, it would have to vary on what the movie is and what the casting call is and if the actors can actually act, you know. And to answer your final question, Godzilla 2, well, it's been about 1.5 years since Godzilla came out, and what's crazy is how time flies, because I'll never forget all of the hype and the anticipation behind Godzilla when the first movie was coming out, and now we have Godzilla 2 set for 2018. We already know what's going to happen. They're going to have King Ghidorah, they're going to have Rodan, they're going to have Mothra, and they're going to have these characters in there, and they're going to play a very prominent role. What I want to see is how they're going to introduce all these characters and whether or not they're going to introduce another Muto character and perhaps maybe have that Muto monster die somehow by the hands of, you know, Rodan or Mothra or Ghidorah, or Ghidorah, whatever you want to call them. But Godzilla 2 is going to be very good. I really can't wait for it. I can't wait to see the first teaser trailer to it. I can't wait to see the actual trailers, you know, as a whole. But I think Godzilla 2 is going to make for a great film. And it actually will be going up against Pacific Rim 2 in a way, because I believe Pacific Rim 2 comes out in 2017 or 2018, and I think Godzilla 2 comes out in 2018. So either way, I mean, that's going to be its competitor, and I can't wait to see how they're going to step it up. So I just really hope that we get to see Godzilla fight more, because I feel as if we see Godzilla fight more, it'll just mean that much more to us fans to see him in action. Whether or not they execute it well or not, it's up to the director. A lot of us feel as if they never really executed him well in the first film. I mean, he was just mainly, you know, there just for, you know, shits and giggles, and the only times he was ever active was in the end. But either way, I mean, I just can't wait to see what's going to happen. So, I mean, it's going to be very good either way. But anyways, Mr. James, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have a very, very awesome day, bro. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Herbert The Pervert. Wow, Alex, what's going on, bro? You are the best, man. I have some fan mail for you, so here we go. Thank you, man. Question number 1, what are your thoughts on the ending of the Avengers 2? The last 20 minutes of the movie felt like a waste. Ultron wasn't used to his fullest. What are your thoughts? Very interesting. Question 2, do you think Hulk will appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? If so, do you think he will be a rogue, or will he come to his senses? Question number 3, how powerful do you think Thanos will be in the Avengers 3? And question 4, will there be an Avengers 4, 5, and 6? Well, Mr. Herbert The Pervert, thank you for the questions. Well, to answer your first question, the Avengers 2, especially with the ending, of course, I don't think it was as rewarding. I mean, the movie was great, but I felt as if Ultron, you know, given credit, yeah, he wasn't utilized to his fullest. He just became a sociopath. He became a madman, with the characteristics of Tony Stark within him. he became more of a malevolent, sarcastic asshole. So I mean, it kind of suited him, but then again, they can't really take a lot into consideration, because if they decide to make Ultron this ultimate killing machine, then it'll in a way take away from Thanos, and Thanos is supposed to be like that ultimate killing machine spectrum, broad like character. He's supposed to be the one that brings the A game to the Avengers. So I do agree the last 20 minutes were actually pretty awesome, but I think I would say the ending wasn't so awesome, because I personally, even though I did enjoy the Vision killing the final copy of Ultron, I would have preferred it more to have been a copy of Ultron where he was pretty much in his final form, the last of his kind, the real Ultron, and then Vision comes and they have like this big brawl, and then Ultron seems like he's putting up a fight, but then in the end Vision just pretty much obliterates him. I mean, allow Ultron to have his moment here. I mean, it's just like a one-sided thing. If you keep allowing other heroes to have the upper hand on the villain, what does that necessarily mean for the villain? So for me personally, I mean, I did enjoy it for what it was worth. It was incredibly fun to watch. There's nothing like it. I would say that the Avengers 2 definitely lived up to many people's expectations. But I will agree when you said Ultron wasn't used to his fullest. My thoughts are the final moments of the movie were very good. Especially with everybody just brawling everywhere, and you see like all these Ultron copies flying all over the place, and you see like Vision and everybody just fighting everybody off. It was so cool, like it was really, really cool. So for me personally, I was satisfied. But in essence, I think they could have done more with Ultron, to be honest. To answer your second question, will Hulk appear in Guardians of the Galaxy? That I really don't know. I would have to say probably not. I mean, I really doubt it. If by some chance you have Hulk appear in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, how would that even happen? We all know that Thanos is going to be coming after, every single Infinity Stone. He's going to be coming after every one, for that matter. But for Hulk to appear in Guardians 2, I really don't think so. If by some chance he were to appear, I do feel as if maybe he would be a rogue at first, having to fight Groot and Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord and all these people. But then ultimately coming to his senses, realizing that, yeah, they're just like the Avengers, and just you have to give him a chance to see what's going on. I think that Hulk would fight them at first, but ultimately come to his senses. But I don't think he's gonna be coming in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I cannot see that. I don't see how it's possible. I mean, is it possible? Of course it is, but I don't see it happening. To answer your third question, how powerful is Thanos gonna be? Thanos is gonna be beyond powerful. Thanos is gonna be supremely powerful. Once he has all of the Infinity Stones within that Infinity Gauntlet, it is lights out for everybody. Literally, there is nobody that can actually hold a candle to this dude. He is that powerful. So for me, I think Thanos is going to bring everything we've always wanted to see in the Avengers 2 and 1 into 3 and 4. And in any essence, I really want to know how he's going to die, if they're going to go based off of the comic version and allow, Drax to kill him. But, I mean, for what it's worth, Thanos is going to be supremely powerful, the most powerful person, period, within both films. And to answer your final question, the Avengers 4, 5, and 6, well, technically, the fourth film will be coming out after the third film in 2018. Or I think it's 2019, one of those two. But the Avengers 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever the case, it's possible, but I really don't know. Unless, of course, they want to incorporate Galactus, and they have like Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, and Phase 7, then that'll be great to see every single Avenger, to see every single member of the Inhumans, to see every single member of the Guardians team up, to have every single member of the X-Men, perhaps, if they want to regroup with the Avengers, battle Galactus, like the supreme overlord of the entire universe. Like, that would be amazing. So, I do feel as if the Avengers series will not end. There will be more, but in any essence, I do feel that the superhero franchise is going to go on, and that means that the Avengers will go on too. But anyways, Mr. Herbert, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very, very awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Joey Games. What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy? Have you ever played any of the games? And if you haven't, would you ever go back and play one? And question number 2, do you think they will ever make a Spyro 4 in continuation of the Year of the Dragon game? The other Spyro games sucked. Well, thank you for the questions, Mr. Joey. To answer your first question, I have played Final Fantasy before, but we're talking about like eons ago. The last time, legitimately, guys, that I've ever played Final Fantasy was on the PlayStation 1. I'm gonna give you a moment to soak that in. I mean, literally, that's the last time I've ever played Final Fantasy. Now, I know some of you guys might say, what the hell, you've been missing out on so much. Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 10, blah, blah. I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I was just never able to get into Final Fantasy like everybody else. For me, personally, just Final Fantasy was a franchise that I just didn't really connect with. I connected with every other franchise except for Final Fantasy. Now, am I willing to go and give Final Fantasy a try? Sure. I mean, I've always given other games a try, so why not give Final Fantasy one? But the thing is, I just don't know where to begin with Final Fantasy. You know, some people might say, oh, well, go back and play the originals, or maybe start with this one, start with that one. But as a casual player entering, you know, Final Fantasy, I would want to enter and just get the overall experience that I want and need. Of course, maybe by some chance, if they had all of the Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation Now, maybe then I can go back and try them out. But I mean, as of right now, I really don't know where to begin, nor do I know, you know, if I want to, because like there's so many Final Fantasy games that I really don't know which one to pick and choose from, to be honest. But would I ever go back and play one? Sure. I mean, I would try. Even though I forgot what the Final Fantasy game was that I played when I was a kid. I remember when I played it, it was just like, it was so unappealing to me, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And to answer your final question, Spyro 4, well, there is a game continued off of Year of the Dragon, and that was, I think, Firefly or something like that. I forgot the exact title of it, but we had Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Spyro 3, and the Spyro game that came after 3 was very good as well. It was for the PlayStation 2, I believe. I have to look this up. But either way, I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, because, like, Spyro isn't really, like, you know, what it once was before. And I know some people might say, oh, well, we have Skylanders, we have this, we have that. It's just the fact that Spyro in and of itself, in a nutshell, it's not what it once was. But if you're talking about a continuation, I'm trying to remember the name. I think it was like, oh fuck, what the hell? Oh yeah, Enter the Dragonfly. There we go. I finally remembered the name. Yeah, so we had Year of the Dragon, and then we had Enter the Dragonfly. That was, I believe, in my opinion, that was the final game that Spyro offered that was legitimately good. After playing, you know, Enter the Dragonfly, I really didn't play the fifth one. I'm trying to remember the fifth name. I think it was like Hero's Dragon or like Hero's Tale or something like that. I never really played that one, but what I will say is the fact that I think for me, Enter the Dragonfly was the best one. Well, I mean, not the best one, but like the final one that I've played that was like the best. After that, pretty much everything else like just didn't really appeal to me. We had so many other games that followed up with Spyro that just completely made no sense. It was pretty much rendered useless. But I don't know, like I would like to see a modern version of Spyro. I mean, how many of you guys out there would want to go back and relive those glory days of, you know, Ripto's Rage and Enter the Dragonfly and all that kind of stuff? Like, you know, like I would definitely want to go back and do that. But then again, I mean, gaming companies today, I don't think they have any faith, especially the one that made Spyro. I don't think they have any faith in Spyro anymore, because they pretty much saw the decrease in sales. They saw the depopulation of pretty much fans that were so attached to the series at one point that they're not really playing it anymore. Skylanders is an exception, but that's not really a Spyro standalone game. I mean, for me, I think they ruined it once they started introducing, Spyro as an adult, and you were able to like do all these retarded ass things. For me, it didn't make any sense. The classic Spyro games are gonna be the best, period, for me. If by some chance they want to do some sort of a remake and they want to start fresh with Spyro from the very beginning, they could do that. Like keep Ripto, keep all of the same formulas from the first 3 games, because that's how we built the foundation here. But I don't know, like, for me, I would definitely love to see more, because as many of you guys know, I've done many walkthroughs and let's plays on Spyro before. So for me, would I love to see it? Hell yeah. But I mean, at this point, I don't think we're gonna see anything that has to do with Spyro anymore, man. But anyways, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day, bro. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Goosebumps. I freaking love those books. Alex, I need your help, man, so please hear me out. Okay, all of you. Okay, so I wasn't being entirely honest with myself or my girl, and my girl caught me with naked pictures of other girls in my phone. Why? Just why would you do that, man? It's nothing of recent, but it's old pictures of girls I used to talk to within the last few years. She's very pissed at me, and she shouldn't be, because I'm not doing anything with anyone aside from her. So what should I do, bro? Am I really in the wrong? And also, how do I get my girl to get into what I am into? Thanks, Alex. Well, that's a very sticky situation that you're in. But I mean, my question to you is like, why would you have pictures of other girls in your phone if you're dating one girl? I mean, that's kind of the mistake that we as men make, and it's a very common yet stupid mistake that we all go about. And sometimes you can't just explain it, but in an essence, it's like, for me personally, if I was in your shoes and if I was in a relationship with this girl, and this girl was really hot and she was treating me with respect and she was really awesome, I really wouldn't have any need to have any other girl in my phone. I mean, that's just me personally. Would I want to see pictures of my girl? Hell yeah. I mean, my entire library would be full of like, naked pictures of my girlfriend, but not nobody else. So yeah, for me, I think you're in the wrong by having them. All right, like, let's say for example, you're really not doing anything with anybody. It's the simplicity of just having those pictures there, like I don't know how she found them. I don't know if she found them. If she did, then it's kind of like your fault for having them around. It's like, why would you even have those pictures around? Just delete them. But I kind of get like where you're coming from, because if you're really being genuine here, and if you're saying that you haven't been doing anything, you just like to look back into the past, then I mean, yeah, it might seem like a very tiny smudge on a giant, whiteboard, but at the same time, it's like, you have to get rid of that smudge, man. Like, if you have all these pictures, why even have them around when you're in a relationship? You might as well just be single. Because, I mean, eventually, your girlfriend is going to go through your phone, and she's going to be like, what the fuck is this? She's going to think the worst. You may not, I mean, but just put yourself in her shoes. Imagine if you were going through your girlfriend's phone and you found a whole bunch of, pictures of men's dicks in there or whatever, but they're all from like the past and stuff. Like, what would you feel about that? Like, how would you feel about that? I mean, I would be fucking pissed. But I mean, you have to understand, man, she's very pissed at you because she thinks that you're going out there and doing whatever, and I really hope you're not, because that's kind of like messed up on your part. You're kind of like changing her perception here. So what I think you should do is just delete the pictures. If you have any of these girls' numbers, delete them. It's not bad to have, female friends, like lady friends, but so as long as you're not doing anything with them, you know what I'm saying? And I really hope you're not. But what I think you should do is just delete all the pictures, delete all the numbers, and just just keep it genuine, man. Don't be a statistic. Don't be a fucking douche. You know what I'm saying? Like, because only douchebags do that. Like they like to cling on to their past. If I were you, I wouldn't do that, to be honest. I mean, especially if you're in a relationship. If you're single, I mean, I don't see anything wrong in just having that around just to look at from time to time and just think, wow, I was in it. But if I were you, I would just get rid of it, man. I mean, come on, it's the summertime. What more do you need? I mean, you have a girl, you can do whatever you want with her. I mean, why do you need these other pictures for? I mean, that's just my opinion. So yeah, you are in the wrong. You are in the wrong because you're being very ignorant, and that kind of makes you, it kind of paints the picture of you being a douchebag, because why would you even cling on to the past? And to answer your second part question, how do you get her to get into what you're into? By you getting into what she's into. You know what I'm saying? Like, every relationship should be based off of, mutual respect and understanding. If you can get into all the shit that she's into and vice versa, you got yourself a perfect relationship. But what I think you should do, well, I mean, I really don't know what you're into, so I can't really say, but I think what you should do is just be like, hey, you want to watch this with me, or hey, you want to play this with me, or hey, you want to go here with me, or hey, you want to play that with me. It's like, just ask her, and if she says no, just, you know, respect it, but I mean, just keep persisting, you know, like, for example, if you love watching Dragon Ball Super, ask her, like, you know, on a Sunday or Saturday, just be like, hey, babe, you want to sit back and watch some, you know, anime or whatever. She might question you saying, what's that? And be like, hey, just watch it with me or whatever. You watch a few episodes and you ask her for her opinion, and she's like, oh, that was pretty cool. I mean, if she's into it, then yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, now you have, you know, common ground. But the same thing must be applied for you as well. I mean, when she asks you, hey, could you do this? Hey, could you do that? Don't be a douche and say no, because if she took the time to do your crap, you might as well take the time to do hers, because every relationship is going to be like that, man. It's not all about sex and stuff. You just have to, like, you have to connect on some sort of a basis. If you guys both love playing video games, find a common video game that you guys love and just, you know, go ham on that. You know, go hard, play it, whatever, have fun. If you guys, you know, love a specific movie, just watch that movie, or try to find something based off of that you can both enjoy. Sometimes for girls, they're going to drag you into, like, crappy ass TV shows to watch, such as, you know, the Kardashians, or maybe, you know, whatever the case, like, you know, like Helen, or I don't know, just freaking, like, you know how girls have, like, their own TV shows that they love to watch and stuff like that. Sometimes they'll drag you into it, and, you know, sometimes as a man you're gonna have to, you know, suck your balls and just, you know, accept it, you know, like, just watch it, and it's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna make you, like, horribly miserable for the time being, but just enjoy it while the time is, because you're spending time with her, and, you know, at least you're doing something. So yeah, I think you're in the wrong for doing that. I don't think you should do that ever again. But that's just my opinion, man. You could do whatever you want in life. You're your own person. I'm just trying to share some, you know, common knowledge with you and just tell you, like, hey, that's not right, man. So, but anyways, Mr. Goosebumps, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching. My name is UnrealEntGaming. There are two things that I want to do right now. I want to go and try to see if the pool is open, and I want to go eat. I am hungry. And hopefully this doesn't really make you guys hungry, because I'm really craving some, like, hot, steamy cheese pizza with perhaps maybe some garlic knots on the side, some Zeppelis, or maybe even, like, those little hot dogs. Oh my god, I'm freaking hungry. Like, my mouth is, like, watery right now. Holy shit. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe for all latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit it up with a like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned for more. Share your summer stories, guys, because I really want to hear what some of you guys have been doing this summer. Like I said, summer is almost over practically, so just take the time to enjoy everything as much as you can, because before you know it, I mean, it's just going to fly on by, and you're going to be right back to square one with school, with work. The winter's gonna roll around very, very soon. Some people are gonna get snow before others, but either way, just enjoy it. So anyways, everybody, once again, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will be seeing each and every single one of you in next week's episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.